This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good afternoon, and welcome to the Clear Lines training session. I'm your host, Kipp Cohen. It is Thursday, the 7th of February, 2019. This is a twice weekly training session that I offer for my subscribers to the Clear Lines indicator running on the Medved Trader platform, as well as those of you that are interested in learning more about the platform. I'll be here for the next 60 minutes, here to answer your specific questions you may have about utilizing Clear Lines on the Medved platform. Let's get started. I have my first question already from Frank. Good afternoon, Frank. And good afternoon, everyone else. He says, I used to use WiseTrade to get in and out of trades, mostly looking for swing and long-term trades. How can I use the Clear Lines to get out of a swing trade? Thanks, from Frank. So same way you used WiseTrade, you can utilize the Medved platform, the Clear Lines, to get in and get out of your swing trades. You're still going to use your traditional money management, which is your risk to reward, but you're going to rely on what you see in the charts. So let's pick I'm going to pick a stock that's actually on my watch list right now. We're going to go with CRM because I know it's on my swing watch list. We're going to go to a historical chart. I've got minutes up right now, 1, 3, and 15. So we need to put in a historical chart. So this is a daily on CRM. All right. So first, obviously, we want to evaluate the trend. We have a solid uptrending long term. And actually, it had pulled back and recently turned back up again on the monthly chart. We have a trending weekly, a little bit of convergence there. Could be up against a double top. And we have for the most part, a trending day. And you do have some swing cycles here where it goes up a few days, pulls back, goes up, pull back a little bit, up, pull back, up, and here we are, we're pulling back. So you can use a combination of the daily chart to help you, okay? And I would use more, really like a 130. So we can go open up we can either do it this way, we can go file. Well, hold on, we'll right click and we'll go intraday chart. And oops, sorry guys. We're gonna take off that and let's go to a 130 minute. Just because that divides the day into thirds. Okay, so on CRM, you can see on the 130, you can see that cycle. You can see where it's cycled up, and now we're on the second down day. So for me, when I look at this, I say that this swing cycle, if you were in this swing cycle, it's over. You're out probably this morning because it was the second down day. you don't want to give back too much of your gains. So I would say a combination of the daily chart and the 130 will be your guide to determine your exit on the swing, which is very similar to what we did on Wise Trade. You know, you use the 130 to help you for your swing exits. And that's a pretty clear picture, I think. Does that help you? But I can only look at one at a time. Well, yes and no. I mean, depends on how you set up your charts. Theoretically, if you have one historical and one, if you use, and let me switch my layout. Let me go to my 2-chart layout. If you're just using a 2-chart layout, like I use in the morning, then technically, well, you can watch 5. You just have to have them loaded up. What you have to do is you have to build a watch list, okay, and you have to build a watch list. So I'm going to actually switch this one. I'm not going to call it daily watch list because I have a date. The daily is my popper dropper. So I'm going to switch this one and call it Tinsley's watch list. Tinsley's swing radar list. And then I have to get my symbols, which actually I have. Hold on. Here, ARRS, BSBR, Burl, Sienna, CRM, Crone, DEC, DLTR, EXEL, FNV, Blue, IBN, KL, KTOS, NTNX, SBS, SBUX, SCG, Team, Twilio, Vive, XLNX, Zen, and we added match today, so let me put that right here. Match. Okay, so now I can just go to that Tinsley's swing radar list. And let me change my view. So now I can just scroll through and look at, I mean, I can't look at them all at one time, correct. But I can scan through and look at, you know, if I want to see the daily chart, here's the day. I can just scroll through each one and look at the daily chart. I can do it that way. I mean, technically speaking, on the old Wise Trade, you could only look at one chart at a time unless you did the multi-chart pop-up, you know. But technically speaking, you were looking at one chart at a time. So you can scroll through and look at your one. Hold on, let me put my 130 up. So I could just scroll through. Hold on. There we go. Let me remove that. I can scroll through and look at any of those, whatever I put up, 130 in day, 130 week or month or whatever. Or if I want to go to a 4-chart layout, I can do it this way. And then I can watch 2 at a time, Then I can create my 2-chart layout basically here. And then I can watch 2 at a time. You're limited by your amount of, obviously, your real estate, which is your screen space. So, there are some subtle differences, but you can customize this however you want to. You can't do the scroll up and down like you could in WiseTrade, but you can scroll through pretty quickly. I mean, Starbucks, that looks good. Scott says, hey, Frank, I'm also a swing trader and used WiseTrade. Once you learn the clear lines, to me, it's like WiseTrade on steroids. Right, it is. Connie says, what are the dotted red and green lines coming out of your volume bars on your 3-minute chart? So what you were looking at, and that was probably on Zen. So those are where trades were, where we were in trades earlier. So you're going to see that. That's how it shows you your trades on the chart. So if I put my mouse over, it says I sold at 71.95, bought 71.66. It's just your buys and sells. That's all it is. What was EA? That was a good one today. So again, you can see all the trades. But it's definitely a learning curve, and it is a little different. It's not the exact same program, but I think once you get used to it, it's definitely more powerful. Good questions so far. All right, what else? Any other real specific stuff right now I can answer? Anything you want to learn? So I know we have Bruce is in here. I know that. So one of the things that I figured out is that you can link a demo account from Interactive Brokers. It's delayed, but let me show you guys. I want to show you all that. Hold on. So if you go to Interactive Brokers, you can click where it says free trial, and all you have to give is like your name and your email address. I think that's all it was. Name, email address, and a username and your country of origin. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to give your name, email address. That's it. And then you can set up a demo account, and then what you have to do is the demo account, you have to turn it on and run their trade station in the background. Okay. And then there's some settings you have to go into. It's account. Hold on. Where is it? Account management home. I think that's what it was. Is it account management? No. Hold on. What was it? Darn it. Hold on. I have the little cheater thing here. Oh, configuration. Workstation configuration. Edit. Global configuration. That was it. There's some settings in here you have to adjust under API settings that if you need to, let me know and I can give you the link. But there's some settings here. Once you set them here, then you just have to minimize this, and then you go into your trading and you select that account. So you have to add the account. So you have to go in to settings, and then under accounts, once you've made those changes, then you go in and add the interactive brokers, and it's going to ask you to validate it, and it brings it in. And then once you've got that account added, then you can go to the trading screen, and I can select interactive brokers, and then I can do the account view. For that interactive brokers account. So you can see I was testing it this morning. I made money in my testing. The only weird thing is that it seems like it was, so their quotes from them are delayed, but if you're using, like I'm using my quotes from TD Ameritrade, so the chart quotes are technically real time. Okay. So let's find something that I can kind of mess with here and put in here. So let's see if I can get this to work. Let me do a short sell market. Let's see if it works. See, it hung up last time. Hold on. Is it gone into pending? See, it shows the sell order sitting here. It just hasn't filled it yet. And that I don't understand why it hangs up. But for the purpose of testing at least how to put in an order, I just don't understand why it just sits there. Unless it has something to do with a delay. I don't know. I need to find out why it just sits there. and then it eventually fills. But let me compare. Hold on. See, right here, I'm showing 8201 by 8211, but I've got 8122 by 8131 here. And that's because these quotes are delayed and these quotes are real time. But I would have figured it would have filled it immediately, but I don't know. This may not work out as good as I thought. But for the semantics of being able to just to push buttons, see, I don't understand why it just hangs there. And I may have to contact Interactive and say, hey, why would a market order just hang there? Let me see if I do it this way. See, they're both still hanging there. Now there's two orders hanging there.
Order cancelled.
No, I just need to figure out what's going on. I'll have to talk to them and see why the trade would just sit there. But at least it's a possible way for you to at least test. Yeah, the equities demo account is delayed. It's delayed data. That's why you don't have to fill out any agreements or market data agreements because it's all delayed. If you had a live account, it's going to be real time. I just don't understand why it's not. Like it filled an order earlier. We'll leave it there and see how long it takes to fill. To me, it just doesn't make sense. If you put in an order, it should fill right away. If it's a market. Um, anyway, I'm just going to cancel that.
Order cancelled.
Order canceled. It's kind of interesting. All right, let's go back to. Okay. So again, depending on which layouts you're using, you can watch and view multiple stocks. You just kind of have to scroll through. That would have been a pretty good short, by the way, on Grub. Let me make sure I haven't missed any questions here. Yep. So let's go through and talk about, I'm going to cover can you remove the letters? VWAP. Remove the letters? What do you mean remove the letters? Like, are you talking about like where it appears on your chart, like right here? You're wanting to know if you can remove that from the chart? So what you're seeing is this is whatever, these are all of your indicators. So volume, clear lines, pivot point, and VWAP. Edit. I don't, oh, here. Nope, that would just hide the indicator, I think. Yeah, see. I don't think there's a way to remove the, without actually removing the indicator. I don't think you can remove the name. I don't see a way to remove it. That's pretty standard in most charting packages. Like I know my TradeStation does that too. It at the top it names out all of your strategies or your indicators. I don't think there's a way to. The only way to remove it is to actually remove the indicator. There might be a setting where you can. Hold on, let me think about this. This would probably be under a. Hold on. Color sets, maybe. Under your color sets, you have. Yeah, see, you don't want to make your text go away. I really don't, I can't think of a way to do that. Let's see, charts, general, let's see. Data, tracing, indicator, actions. Data, miscellaneous chart performance. Use candle scroll. Display. Show news bulbs. Trading. Show the order. Price. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do that, unfortunately. You have to leave it up there. That's how you know what indicators you're using. From a current layout displayed, and when one wants to create a two chart from the main tab, how do you save it to the recent layouts? Yeah, no problem, Wayne. From a current layout displayed, and when one wants to create a two chart from the main tab, how do you save it to the recent layouts? Okay, so if I'm getting your question, so like let's take this layout that we have here. Okay, so if I wanted to change an existing layout, you already know this is my popper tropper layout, but let's say I want to change something. So I'm going to create a second layout here from this one. So we're going to go with some smaller charts. But let's say I want to include level 2. Okay, let's try that. Level 2 for grub. Even though I can't stand level 2. Okay, and I want to do the same thing for this chart. Level 2 for Xilinx. So now I need to rename this. It needs to be called, so I go up to the top, File, click where it says Save Layout. A window is going to open. You should be in your folder for Medved Trader, and then just type in whatever you want to call it. So this is Popper Dropper Layout with Level 2, and then click Save. So now I have my new layout, Popper Dropper with Level 2, which is, oh, and you know what else? Oh, I need to do something. I need to pin this. That needs to be blue because it needs to match that pin. And this one needs to be green to match that pin. That's important. I forgot to do that. So I need to save it again. File, save layout, Popper Dropper, overwrite, yes. Because when I click up here, it needs to be able to load that symbol as well. Was that kind of what you were wanting to do? Yep. Okay. Cool. And maybe I want to move this over here and then slide that over and slide that over. Maybe that's better. And then I can save it again. File, save layout, Popper Dropper with level 2. Ba-boom. Ba-bam. Again, that's kind of confusing for me, but there are other things, they have all kinds of interesting depth chart and level 2, all kinds of, I mean, just depends on what you want to see and how much bandwidth you have, which goes to another issue. Depending on your bandwidth, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want too much going on because you're going to chew up. The more crap you got running, the more data, the more stuff streaming, the more bandwidth you're using. Good question. Thank you, Ron. All right, so we kind of went through some settings. We've changed and adjusted some layouts. What other things can I show you today? Remember, this session's for you guys. I know some of y'all are still learning, so please, if don't hesitate. If there's something you're not sure of or something you want to learn, man, match was amazing today. That sell-off this morning was crazy. Ron says, I was looking at adding a new layout when I opened my clear lines, which helped me out. Thanks. Cool. Yeah, so you can pretty much build whatever you want. I mean, it's really endless the number of layouts that you can create. And the more monitors you have, the more you can put out there. It can kind of get overkill, I guess. I mean, I could set up all 4 monitors with charts going and be able to, watch 5 or 6 or 7 stocks at one time on multiple time frames. But I think what happens is, it's hard you lose. I mean, it's like information overload. To me, you're better off looking at a little bit and being focused on a little bit, not too much. That's why I've kind of tried to keep my layouts somewhat simplified with just my 2 chart layout and my popper dropper layout. I mean, that's pretty much all I use every day now. I don't move much off of those too, just because to me it's a lot easier, and I can always scroll through stocks using the watch list in the portfolio to monitor whatever I'm looking at. I mean my daily stocks. There's a lot of advanced stuff you can do. I've gone through this before, and I don't mind doing it again. But the software does allow you to create. Hold on one second. Alerts. I don't know if y'all know that, but you can create price alerts. You can do it a couple different ways. The easiest way is to use a line. So let me just, I'm going to expand this chart. It's my 3-minute. Under the drawing tools, there's something called an alert line. If I check that, then I can basically just draw a line on the chart wherever I want to draw it. Okay. So what that does is if the price crosses that line, I get a pop-up alert. So this is good if you're, if you have 4 or 5 stocks, you can't keep an eye on all of them. You can build these price alerts. You can add them in. You can edit it by right-clicking on the line and then going to edit the alert. And so it tells you what it is. It's cross trend lined up. All right, and it shows you have different notifications that you can make. Pop up, highlight, only trigger during regular trading hours, play a sound. You can all right, so we can set these alerts. So when it crosses that trend line up, I'll get a notification. And that's a pretty cool feature. You can do it that way, or you can right click on the chart and you can go add alerts for match. So right now you can see we have a trend line alert running, but I can add a different alert if I wanted to. I could add a news alert. So if there's a new news story that comes out, I can get a notification when a new news story comes out. Oops. If I want to add another one, I can add another one, add a, price above or below, price crossing up or down, crossing daily range percent, move up, down, dollar or percent, daily high low, 52-week high low. And there's all kinds of cross a pivot point. That's a cool one. If it crosses a pivot point, if there's a certain trade size that goes through, you can set an alert. So now I have two on match set up. Does the alert sound again if the price moves away and comes back? If you leave the alert open, I believe so. If you leave it, if you cancel it once it's done, then I think that's it. I don't know if it crosses, because this is cross above, so it would have to come back down and then cross. I think if it crosses back above again, then yeah, you should get that alert. Ron says, I like the two chart for the IRA account and addressing the swing trades. Yeah, I mean, that's really all you need is a two chart layout for your position trades. You really just checking the trends real quick. You don't have to be zipping around, and it lets you see things clearly. So I could also set a secondary line below. Whoops. So when it crosses under here. So then I've kind of got both sides set now. So now it's cross trend line up and cross trend line down. So this way I've got it wrapped. If it breaks support or if it breaks resistance, then I get a notification. So I don't have to stare at it. So in other words, if I'm watching, I can move this back over here. If I'm watching some other things, I still have this alert going. And I think even if I go to another chart, I think that alert is still running in the background. It should be. If I go to my alerts, alert editor, you'll see that it's still in here. Again, that's under the, you also have an alert log once they trigger. But let me put match back up so we can watch it because it's getting close. It'd be kind of cool to see if it cracks it one way or the other. And then hopefully everything works okay. It might be, maybe I need to bring the top one down a little bit. Hey guys, give me just a second. Hold on, I'm sorry. All right, so see, it just crossed over and I turned it on just as it says alert for match, cross the trend line going up past 55.4878. So I can either delete it and I can trade it. So that's cool. If I want to trade it, I can hit the trade button. So if I wanted to go long here because it's breaking out, then I can do a buy. And so now you can see it filled and I'm in the trade. So it's a good way to be able to monitor when you can't watch, if you're waiting for a price level to break above or below. And I think it's still active. Hold on. Yeah, it's still active. And then you can go into, what was that? Whoops. Alert log, and then there you can see it tells you it crossed up. How much time? Oh, 10 minutes left. So that was kind of cool. It crossed through it, although it came back down. Market data connection loss. Market data connection reestablished. Sorry, I'm going to shut that down. That's my interactive brokers. I'm in a position trade, but the chart doesn't show the number of shares or P&L. How can I get that info? So Wayne, it actually might, but the problem is if it's the price is not, if it's above or below the current price data, you're not going to see it. So what you may have to do is scroll the price to see where it is. You know, you might have to squeeze all of that data to be able to see it. But it should be there. It's probably just hiding is the problem. You know what I mean? Go to a bigger time frame. use a bigger time frame, or go to a historical chart. Here's what you may have to, well, just go to a bigger time frame and then look and see, if your price is way below the market, you're not going to see it. You have to bring that. You kind of understand there. You know what I mean? It should be there somewhere, but you make sure you have it selected to show. Make sure you have show position set, show position P&L for the chart. If that chart doesn't have that setting, then you're not going to see it. All right, here goes our so we broke that resistance, and look what happened on our match. It's taken off now. So that was a good example of a breakout, and then trading off of that. And then now let's put my stop in. Oops. Let's put the stop in. So we're in at 48. Let's go to. All right, sir. Thank you. So there we got our 10 cents protected right now on our trade. Getting a little end of the day run here. Yeah, what I was going to say is if you went to a historical chart, make sure you have your trading enabled charts trading on there, and then show your positions and P&L. Then you should see it on the historical chart. That you should be able to see it on. That was pretty cool. I'm going to have to use this feature more. I haven't really used it much, but I like that to be able to draw those lines and get the alerts so that I don't miss, if I'm waiting for something to break above or below a certain level. That's like that one we were watching earlier. What was it? USAT. USAT was kind of stuck in the mud. Oh man, did I get out too soon? I should have gone back in when it came down to 3 1/4. Dang it. I missed another good trade. I traded that one earlier. That was a good one. Hey, there's 30 cents on match right here at the end of the day. It's not a bad little trade here. And remember, you can adjust the capsule by either scrolling it up or down by grabbing it to move your stop, or you can double click on the price and then just adjust the price. And then you got to make sure you select the M to modify it once you've done that. That's 25 cents though. 35 cents. Sorry. That's a 35-cent gain right there. Almost 40 cents. There's 40 cents. Not bad for kind of by accident, right? There we go. Out at 55.82. So that was a good example of a little quick end of day trade using the trend line, the alert line. All right, we just got a couple minutes to go. Any more questions? That was fun. That was a good exercise. How are you doing in your ongoing P&L? Probably about even right now. I've struggled for a couple months and I'm doing better now. Doing much better now. I'm kind of finally getting my groove. Thank you though. It's been an adjustment period and the market's been a little rough. But yeah, I'm starting to get my groove. Any more questions? Just got another minute or two. Any more questions? We had a phenomenal day today, though. The platoon at Equity Alerts just killed it. That was a great day. All right, guys, I guess that's going to be it for the day. Oh, hold on, one more. Elaine says, with all the change that you have had to deal with for us and yourself, I think it's amazing how well this has come together. Thank you very much, says Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. Yeah, it's it's definitely been a lot for me, but I am definitely grateful. I'm grateful for you guys, and I feel like it's really come together nicely. I think we have a great trading tool, and we have a great group, and I think it's just going to continue to get better. And you guys have been I appreciate your patience, and I look forward to this being a phenomenal year for everybody. Elaine says the platoon is great. We have an amazing group. Yeah, they are awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to pause the recording here.